Hello, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Just waiting for the video to pop up. Oh, there it is. Let me do a couple back end things. And we should be good. Hello, how are you guys? How's everybody doing today? Today's a little bit of our later time, 1:30. Just gonna come real close to the screen here for a minute, move my light into place. So there we go, happy Tuesday. Today we are doing a sea turtle and a seahorse, two drawings for the price of one. And let's see what else. Today, guess what today is? Today is our 20th drawing together. So for the kids' drawings on the weekdays, today is our 20th one. And that's kind of exciting. If you've done some of the sip and draws with your parents, then you've done more than 20. But if you've been drawing from the beginning and you've drawn every drawing, then today will be the 20th drawing that you've done with me. So that's super exciting. We will have some birthdays at the end to call out. Hello to everybody saying hi. What else? We, lots of fun stuff in store for you later in the week. I think I have kind of, sorry, I just saw a question. I think I have this week somewhat planned out on what we're drawing. Okay, so I just got asked about this. So, this is a rooster, but it's not real, so don't freak out and think that I mounted a real rooster. So this is a local artist. Well, she's out of the Bay Area, and she makes quote unquote taxidermy out of old sweaters and old wool socks. So that's what that is. And I have over here, which you can't see, I have a giant moose. And then in my living room, I have a deer. So they're pretty cool. She just does them with recycled wool sweaters and socks. So that's what that is. I get asked about that a lot. Sometimes when I'm talking to friends, they're like, what is behind your head? So yes, 20th drawing today. If you like it, invite your friends. You can also find us now on Instagram, and you can share your art there, and then I usually reshare it. When you do it in your story, if you just post it on your page, I just kind of interact with you, but if you post it in your story and you tag me, it's really easy for me to repost those. So if you're following me on Instagram, make sure you share your artwork with me in the story section on Instagram. And I think that's really all that that's all the announcements, that I have today. I'm probably forgetting something. By now you all know me. I'm very forgetful. So let me get the drawing ready, and then I'll flip you around and show you. Now I will tell you that the drawing today, because we did two things, we are going horizontally on the paper instead of vertically. And, Facebook Live doesn't love horizontal videos. It won't let you do them. So, you're not always gonna see both the images on the page. But, I'll make sure that it makes sense when you're seeing them. So let me flip you around and show you. So here is our drawing today. So we have our sea turtle and we have our seahorse. And then just little bubbles, which you can, you know, add in, or you can add a whole ocean scene in behind if you want. You could add some fish in. I did the little lines. We'll talk about these, what those do and what those mean. And so for myself, for colors, I of course will have my pencil and my pen. And then I picked out 2 colors for my sea turtle, a light green and a dark green, and some pink for inside the mouth. And then for my seahorse, I just did 1 color and I did a very neon pink. But of course, you can make them whatever color you like. If you want to do your turtle shell all rainbow, you can do it however you want to do it. So, and then I added a blue just to add some of these water details in the background. So that's what I'm working with today. I like to pull colors out so that way I'm not digging through my pencil jar, but you know, sometimes I forget and you'll hear me in the background digging through my pencil jar trying to find the color that I need. So when we start this drawing, we're going to start on the turtle first, and then we'll move on to the seahorse. If you are freezing, your screen is freezing, or you lose sound, which if you lose sound, you won't be able to hear me, go out and come back in. Sometimes people have really bad connectivity issues, and if that's the case, then I just suggest you watch it at the end when it's not live. Sometimes it's just very difficult trying to stream because there's so many people streaming at once. And I know a lot of schools are doing distance learning right now, so we have all of that happening too. So there is our drawing, and I'm going to sit it aside, and then we'll get going on our sea turtle. And if you don't want to do the seahorse, you don't have to. You can just do the sea turtle. It's kind of up to you. Again, you kind of make this what you like. So since I am doing 2 items on the page, I'm going to start more over here to the left, and I'm going to start with my sea turtle's face. And so for that, I'm just going to start with a circle shape. Doesn't have to be exact or perfect. And remember, if when you're making that circle, you don't meet the line, maybe you come up too high, just keep going and kind of swirl around until you end up meeting it. So that's our first step, is just his little face. Now his shell is going to build off of his face. So we're going to come up more towards the top part where it really starts to curve up. And we're going to do a curved line coming back around and down. Just about like that. And then this back part of the shell is going to curve back in towards the body. Just like so. I'm going to actually make that a little more curved. I went too straight. So I'm just going to start here in the corner and curve it down and then connect it in the back. So my first line, I didn't like that one. I kept the line there and then just built a new line off of it. So instead of calling this my mistake line, it was just a guideline for me. And now I'm going to draw the line that I want. I wanted to give him a little more curve to the bottom of his shell. There's another creature which we'll draw soon, and it's going to have a very similar shape. Does anyone have any guesses what that could be? Like this would be a good base for another type. It's an insect. You would have a head, and then you would have kind of a shell-shaped body on the back. And it would be a ladybug. So if I was drawing a ladybug, that is the shape I would do for a ladybug. Same type of thing. But I don't want this to be a ladybug. I want this to be a turtle. So I'm going to give him his turtle arms. So I'm going to start right here in the corner. Good job. Lots of you said ladybug. You could actually do something very similar with a snail, only we would have a much bigger circle on here on the back. So from this point right here where the shell meets the face, I'm going to do that front fin or front arm. So I'm going to actually curve into the face and then down towards the bottom of my paper. So just like that. So see, I went into the face and then curved back down. And since I went into the face, I'll erase this little line right here because I don't need that anymore. This little front arm is going to cover part of his face. And from this arm, I'm not going to do a drastic point. I'm going to curve this line in and bring it back up into the body. Just like that. If it's easier for you though, you can make it a point. Remember how we do that? We make a point and then we draw our curved line inside of our point and then you just erase your point later. Now the next fin is going to come back here. It's going to be skinnier and longer, and it's going to start on the inside of this front one. So we're going to do a long curve back just so you're a little bit past the back of his shell. And then same sort of thing, you're going to curve it around and bring it back into the body. And once you have that shape, you know, if you decide maybe you want to make it smaller, you can always take it, start it from maybe about here, and then I could bring it in a little bit more and make it more narrow in the front, and then I would just erase this line. So you can kind of change the shape of that back leg till you have it the size and the look that you want. Now we're not going to see on this turtle, we're only going to see 3 because one of them is going to be completely hiding on the other side, but what we will see off of his back end is his little tail. So we're just going to come a little bit up from the point of the shell and do a little tail, like that. So a little curved, kind of a hot dog shape that gets a little wider, and that's his tail. So far we have our turtle's head, we have his shell, his front fin, his back fin, and his tail. And I do want to give him one more fin, and I'm going to have it coming up off the front of his body, front of his head here, so it kind of makes him look like he's swimming. So we will see the 2 front fins, 1 back fin. The other one is just, we're imagining it's living back behind and we're not even seeing it since we're looking at it from the side. So for that front fin, you're doing this same sort of shape, this kind of curved triangle. So we'll come here a little bit on this outer side of his face where it's starting to curve up. And let's do a line going out, curve the tip, and come back into his face. And there's his other fin. And again, if you feel like you made it too long, you could also always shorten it by just doing a line inside of that to make it a little bit shorter, and then you would just erase. Or maybe you made it pointy because that was easier for you, and then you could do that curved line inside and then just erase your point. So just remember, if you draw and you feel like you've made a mistake or you've made it too big, finish drawing the shape and then adjust it afterwards, leaving the original lines there as a guide, and that can help you change the look of your image. Because sometimes if you just constantly erase the shape you had, you will just keep redrawing that same shape over and over again. It's kind of easier to leave your mistake lines, or I like to call them guidelines, and then adjust off of those. I'll give you guys just a second to catch up. We do have a panda on the list. We didn't have Princess Peach. I'll have to add Princess Peach. A Mario themed drawing would be cute. I think we do have Mario, but I don't think we have any of the other characters from Mario. Now I'm going to start adding some of the detail of the shell, and I want to do kind of a border. It will be even more cute once we add the eyes. So I'm going to add this little border shape here. So see how it starts in the corner and it's going to just kind of follow along the line of the shell. So that's what I'm doing. We do have a dolphin on our list. So we're going to start up here in the corner. We're going to follow the curve of the head, bringing it out, and then down around and follow the curve of the bottom of the shell until we reach back here. I'm going to make that a little bit wider and go up above his tail. And that just gives an inner edge to the shell of my turtle. Just like so. And then you can do the shapes inside of your shell. Now I did Ariel and Ursula. We will do some Ariel and Ursula. The shapes inside the shell, I just kind of did really kind of curved squares almost, but you could also fill your shell with hearts. You can do lots of different shapes inside the shell. You don't have to do these kind of curved squares. So I'm going to start with one right here, and I'm just going to throw in a line. And then I'm going to do one up here on the top. I'm going to put a space between the first one and the next one. Come back and then go up. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You're just kind of making sure you have this center line in between. And then I'll do another one, kind of following the shape and going down. And then maybe one more that's just here on the bottom. Now I'll do a bigger one here in the center, keeping that thick border line. Like that. Do this one more narrow, more triangular. And see, you're just fitting shapes inside this shape. And then I'll do one more here that just kind of follows along the shell line and goes back down. So just like that. Now you have the design in there. Now again, you could do hearts inside of this, you could do triangles, zigzags, stripes. If you just started and you arrived late, you can start drawing the shape of the drawings that we have on the paper, or you can just watch us and then go back and do a drawing, do it all once it's finished. Then you can watch it in full. We will do some more spring-like drawings. We did Easter theme last week, so we have tons of Easter theme drawings. And now that we have his shell, let's give him his face. And we kept his face really simple, so I'm just going to do 2 circles for his eyes. Just like so. And then inside his eyes, I'm going to do those circles of light. One that's bigger, I'm going to do 2 of them. And one that's smaller right below it. Now off to this side, one that's a little bigger and one that's smaller right below it. Just like that. Very simple eye. We've drawn a lot of different kinds of eyes, so if you want to do a different style of eye, you can definitely do that. Where we kind of do circles inside circles inside circles. You don't have to color this all in black. You could make his eyes a different color. We do have a sunflower on the list, and we do have an eagle on the list. So Mascot Mondays, we will always do those on Mondays. And then let's give the smile. So we're going to do a curved line. And then a big wide open mouth down below. Just like that. And that is our turtle. Pretty well finished. And we can do these little lines I do off of the fins. I'm going to do 2 here, 1 smaller, 1 bigger. Those are just action lines. So it makes it look like he's moving his fin or he's swimming through the water. And then I'll do 2 back here off of this back fin. And those are just our action lines to make it look like he's on the move. And then I'm going to do some bubbles. So just some circles out here in the water. And that just kind of shows that he's in the water, a simple way to do that. But if you wanted to draw a bunch of ocean background, you could definitely add a bunch in and do something different than just the little bubbles. And let's remember to keep our comments nice. Okay, we need to have nice comments or we will have to remove from the group. The house from Up, we are definitely going to do an Up drawing. I really like that movie. It's one of my favorites. And just 1 second, guys. I'm going to let you guys catch up while I do something really quick here in the background. Remember, you can add anything you want to the drawing to make it your own. All right, now I'm finished. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. That's what we'll call them. Everybody doing good with your turtles? We ready to move on to the seahorse? So we're going to put the seahorse up here off to the side of the turtle so you can still kind of see the turtle in the picture if you're still working on the turtle. And for the seahorse, I'm going to start, like I do with most of my drawings, with a circle for the face. So just a circle shape up in the face. The turtle is done. We're just going to outline him later. I bet yours isn't bad. I haven't seen one bad drawing yet. I think everybody's drawings are good. And now the seahorse, to give the seahorse a snout, I'm going to do a line starting inside of the face. I'm going to do a slightly curved line coming outside of the face, and then one below it coming outside of the face, and then a line to connect the nose. So see, just like that, 2 little lines, and then we'll erase this little line of his face. And now our seahorse has that kind of long, skinny nose. Just like that. And let's give the seahorse his belly. So a curve starting from below the head, a curved line coming out and back in. And there is the seahorse's belly. Nice, you did cool glasses. I like that. I like when everybody does something creative. And now we're going to start on the back of the body. So let's start from about back here, right where the head starts to curve up. And we're going to curve in slightly and then come back around. We'll finish this off in a second. So you have in, coming out, and back down. And now this is going to go into the tail, which the tail is kind of spiraled. So we're just going to, like we're drawing a circle, but we're going to keep getting closer and closer and closer and do a little spiral like that. And then there he has the little tail. So again, we came down, we went like we were drawing a circle, but instead of keeping that wide shape, we went a little bit in, a little bit in, a little bit in, and made that little swirl inside. I think it's good if they look fat. I make a lot of my cartoon drawings fat, or I give them big bellies. And now let's draw a line here that just kind of gives a space for some belly design. And what I did is I just added little stripes onto the belly. But you could do a different design on yours if you want. And then we need to give the little fins off the side, which I'm gonna do a hot dog shape. And then off of this one, I'm gonna do another hot dog shape. And then one more hot dog shape. And there's the little fin. And then when I go in with my pen, I'm just not going to do this line right here. I'll end up erasing that. So I'll bring my line to the edge of the wing, do my 3 little hot dog shapes, and then pick the line back up. And then I'm also going to give some detail around the head. You could do little kind of antennas. I'm going to do hot dog shapes. So I'm going to do one here. I'm going to change the length of them. Another one a little longer. And I'm just going to do a couple more, make them come a little bit shorter as we come down to the back of his head. And one last one. And there is my seahorse. Now it just needs an eye. So I'm going to do a circle. And I'm going to cut the circle with a curved line inside. Just like that. And little lines inside of that circle, just a little detail line. You don't have to do that part. And a circle of light, oops, up in this corner. And then I want to give mine lashes, of course. And there is my seahorse. You can definitely add a mermaid, and we are going to color it together. One day I will do an instruction on a mermaid, but if you want to give it a go and draw yourself a mermaid on your drawing, you can definitely do that. So I'm just going to add some little bubbles off of the seahorse, and I'm going to add those action lines back here by this back fin, and then some off of the front, just to make it look like it's moving through the water. And there is my drawing. I have my turtle and I have my seahorse. And so now I get to go back in with my pen and go over all the lines I'm keeping. So I'm going to start myself with this fin because I kind of added that on top of the head. So I'll add that in and then start my head off of that. And just remember, when you're outlining in the black, make sure if you didn't erase lines you don't want to keep, that you're paying close attention as you do that outline and you don't accidentally go over those lines that you don't want to keep. Sometimes we erase during the drawing, and sometimes we save some lines and erase them at the end after we've done our black outline, which you'll see I did on the seahorse. On the seahorse, I definitely left some lines that I don't want to go over. So I'm going to make sure when I do that seahorse drawing that I don't add that weird line between the little fins. And if it's freezing, try going out and try coming back in. That sometimes fixes it, or sometimes you have to wait and watch the video when it's not live if you're having too many connectivity issues. Do these little action lines. The shell shapes. I know some of you will do some of your own little shell shapes. I'm actually going to change this one. And that's the beauty of doing it in pencil first, is when you go in with your pen, you can make changes if you need to. But just remember, if when you go in with your pen, you feel like you make a mistake, just keep going. Don't ever just throw it away. You can always make mistakes work. You either change the drawing a little bit to make it work, or you can change how you're coloring it to make it work. There's ways to always fix those. And a smile, big happy smile. And my turtle is finished. Do the little bubbles. I know some of you will go wild and you'll add all kinds of sea life behind in the background, or you'll color it all in blue, make it look like it's under the water. That's always the best part, is seeing your artwork at the end. So don't forget, when you are done with your artwork, take a picture. You can take a picture of just the art, or you can take a picture of you with your art, and you can post it into the album for the sea turtle, or you can post it directly onto the page. Or if you're on Instagram, you can share it in your story and tag me, and then I'll share it also. So for the seahorse, I'm going to put the nose in first because I don't want to draw through the nose. I'm going to draw this head, the rest of this head shape. And this little, I don't know what we would call these. I'm just going to call it the seahorse's hair. It's almost like he has a mohawk. And now I'm going to do these little fins first. So these three little hot dog shapes. And now I'll do the line of the body, because I'm going to stop it when I reach the fin, and then I'm going to pick it up on the other side and then go into the curled tail. So see, I didn't want to do this line here, so I stopped on the top and then started again on the bottom. And last but not least, I have the eyeball. Do a little circle of light inside, this little line, little decorative lines inside, and lashes. I love giving my cartoon characters lashes. And then I'm just going to go ahead and color in this pupil in black with my pen. These I will color after I erase. just because then I don't have to let the pen dry on the paper. Sometimes when you erase, it's easy to smudge your pen. And I didn't take out my eraser. Erasing time. You're right. I feel like we should have some like eraser song that we always play right when it's time to erase. Get rid of all of those pencil marks that we don't need anymore. See, some of you have been drawing with me for so long, you just know, you know what I'm about to do before I even say it, which is pretty special. And erase all these little guys. And even though this eye was small, I'm kind of saving that till the end just to give time for that pen to dry in there a little bit. Because it makes me crazy when I erase and I smudge my pen. But if I do it, I just work with it. And these erasers are pretty great, these magic erasers, because sometimes you can erase the smudge even off of your paper. We should. I'll have to think about an erasing song. Plus, I'd have to think about how to start it up since I've already got a bunch of electronics going in the background. And you know me, we would pick an erasing song and then I would forget to ever play it. And you guys would say, Stacy, you were supposed to start the erasing song. And I would say, oh gosh, I forgot. All right. Now that my erasing is done, I can go back in where this eye is, and I'm just going to color in black. I'll go around those little circles of light first, make them stand out more, and then I can go along the edges. And get all of that colored in. Just like that. Same on the other side. Go around those circles. I like to do that first so I don't accidentally color them in. And then go around the edges so that helps me stay inside the lines. The good thing about the eyes is if you go out of the line, it's very easy to fix because you can just make the eye bigger, especially when you're doing something like this where it's just all getting colored black anyway. It's really easy to correct that. There we go. Someone just wrote us an erasing song. That's very cute. I like that creativity. Now I'm going to color the mouth in pink. And I like to do some of those smaller details first. Then I don't accidentally color it in green, which, I mean, it wouldn't make a big difference if it was colored in green. In fact, if I was coloring this in green, what I would probably do is I would color this light and then I'd do the mouth really dark. So just change the shade of the green. And so now and that's actually how I'm gonna color my turtle. I'm gonna color my turtle's face and body parts in a light shade. And I'm gonna color the this edge and these spaces in between in a darker shade. So I'm gonna start with the darker first. So I'm just using a darker green. You can use the same green, and again, if you're using a pencil or you're using a crayon, you could just color, push hard with one or push hard with it and make it darker, and then push light and make it lighter. and just do the same shade, or you can pick 2 different shades. I'm going to go with 2 different shades today. But you can go with lots of shades. I mean, if you want to do, I know someone is going to do rainbow. We always get rainbow, which I love. So someone will color their shell, and I'm sure all rainbowed. I'm just going along that line. And then color it in. And then the same thing in here. I'm going to kind of go along the edge. I'll do the shapes a lighter color. In the middle part, the darker color. Your turtle is purple. Nice. I mean, that's the fun part about cartoon work, is you can make them really funny colors. They don't have to be the colors that you normally find. You see that a lot, even in animated cartoons or animated shows. My son watches a show, and gosh, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's all rabbits. The family are all rabbits, and they're like, one is blue and one is pink. I'm sure somebody in here knows the name of that show. I even did a drawing of them once for him, but I cannot think of what that show name is. Just keeping all of these parts darker. Yours is golden green. Well, that's a good combo too. I mean, you could even add a third color in and do, him, a light green, do these dark green in, and then do the spots in yellow or the spots in blue. You have lots of fun with the colors. Purple seahorse, I like that. And if you ever do a drawing you really like, since we always, outline it in pen before we start coloring it, you could always try and have your parents make a copy of it for you before you color it in, and then you have a coloring page, and then you could color it multiple times and do it different each time. Now I'm going to take a lighter green, and I'm just going to come along these edges first, and then I can go really quickly. Since I'm working in pencil, I don't have to worry about staying off of this color. So I can go right over the top of it, and you're not going to see that I've touched that line at all. Especially since I'm doing a really light touch, and I did a really dark color. I like everyone's little erasing songs. So we're just coloring these all in. I can do this really quickly. since I don't have to worry about staying inside of the shape. I'll have to go a little slower when I do the body, the parts down here. Also, my pencil's breaking. I can see it. It's at a weird angle right now. Now the eraser song is stuck in your head. I know, I bet, especially if you made a little tune, a little jingle, you're gonna get it stuck. So I'm gonna grab a different grain only because that pencil isn't, it's breaking on me. I don't wanna worry about sharpening it. So I'm just grabbing another light green. It probably won't even look like that much different of a color. And again, just going around the edges first. Giving myself that guideline helps me stay in the lines. Do it along here too. And along here. And then, oh, you guys are writing even more songs. I'm just going to go around all of my edges and then just really go crazy on coloring the inside once I have all of these edge lines down. And remember, when you're coloring, if it helps you to move your paper around, do that. Don't have to keep it up and down. Our paper can move all the way around. Our hand can only move so many directions. So now I can go quicker and color in the shapes. Oh, songs always get stuck in my head too, especially certain songs. There are just certain songs that are really catchy. And once you hear it once, you're gonna sing it all day long. Plus, I just really like music, so I'm usually always singing something in my head or listening to something in the background. Now that song's going to be stuck in my head because I know exactly what song you just wrote down. Havana, ooh, nana. Yep, that's the one. That's one of those catchy ones that gets stuck in there. It's usually always the ones too that get played on the radio over and over again because they know it's just sinking into your brain, not escaping. Yeah, almost done. One more little leg left. I'm going to turn my paper, go from this direction. And I think that is the end of my turtle. Just like that. And let's do the little water bubbles. You can color these in all the way. You can just do a little line inside some, color some halfway. You do this one on the other side. They don't always have to be the same. You can kind of play around with coloring in those bubbles. Do this one solid. these over here. We're almost finished with our drawing today. Don't forget to share them, post them to the page so everyone can see your art. And hopefully you're saving your art, or if you don't feel like saving it, you can always send it to me. I'm gonna take them. I'm actually gonna do that this week. I have a bunch. I got a bunch in the mail. I'm gonna do my little seahorse in pink, and I'm gonna do his belly and all of these little, we'll call it his hair. I'm gonna do them really dark and then do his body lighter. But like I said, there is a P.O. box listed that you can send mail to me at, and you can mail me your art, and then I will drop it off at, I'm going to take a bunch to some elder facilities and maybe some hospitals if they'll take them. I have to make sure they will first. But we can use your art to bring joy. And you don't have to send me the originals. You could always send me a copy, or you could just draw it twice, like I do. Every drawing I'm doing 2 times. Almost finished, and then we'll get to our birthdays today. A couple people celebrating their birthday. Again, coloring this body in darker. And now I can do the seahorse lighter. So I'm just using the same color, and I'm just touching lighter with my hand, just not pushing as hard. And I colored that little area in the eye darker. I always think those look cute. Once you color them in and you make them fit into the drawing, I love those that little lined area. Some people think, sometimes it looks weird when you're first drawing it, and you think, what is that? That looks funny. I'm just gonna try to blend that in a little bit. Around that edge. There we go. And our seahorse is done. And now I'm just going to write my name. And my age. And where I'm from. And that is our drawing today, our seahorse and our sea turtle. Let me pull up my little screen, and I can give our birthdays a proper shout out. So today for birthdays, I have Allison, Avery, Mary Jane, and Mari. Happy birthday. I hope you have a special day and you do something fun. You find a special way to celebrate your birthday. I like celebrating mine with cake for sure. Let me flip you guys around real quick. Whoop. All right, there we go. Happy birthday, everybody. Don't forget to share your artwork when you're finished. You can just show the artwork, or you can hold a picture and be in the picture. You can share it here, or you can share it on Instagram. And if you have friends who aren't here with us yet, then invite them in so we can get more people enjoying the drawings. And tomorrow is Wednesday, so we are drawing at 11 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. And tomorrow we are going to be drawing Oscar the Grouch. So our first Sesame Street character, that will be tomorrow, Oscar the Grouch. When is my birthday? My birthday is in January 17th. So we got a long ways till it's time to celebrate me. Happy birthday, everyone who's having a birthday today. Thank you for drawing with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow to very ungrouchily draw Oscar the Grouch. Love you guys. Bye.